See, the thing is, right, like, and I've said this before, but I've got polls on my channel to back this up, right? And I did those polls for a reason, but I'm looking at the reality and the truth and the fact that I got a substantial portion of people on this channel who are actually below average, right? I mean, you're not even doing your utmost to get out of your situation, and you are below average, below average. And my thing is that, like, you're not even meeting the standards of what the average man is doing, the average loser. And yes, the average man is a loser. The average man is a straight up and down loser. His life is the life of a loser. See, with me, right, I've been below average. Okay? I've been below average and I've been average. And I'm still in the average range right now. Right? And let me tell you something. Life as an average man is not that much even better. It really isn't. So if you're hoping that, if you're shooting for just be an average dude, well, you're shooting to be a loser, essentially. If you think that being an average guy making $50,000 or pounds a year is somehow any kind of achievement or is somehow going to make your life better or improve your situation, I think you're living in Disneyland. I mean, there's really nothing to look at the average man or to be envious of. I mean, the average man has nothing that I would want. I mean, like I said, I'm in the average range. I'm in the average range right now, and I've got absolutely nothing that I want in life, right? So, being an average man, that's not going to change anything. I mean, you've got a bit more disposable income than being below average, but at the end of the day, man, we're trying to get rich on this channel, right? We're trying to get rich on this channel. We're not trying to be average men, right? We're not trying to be average men. See, and that's the thing. If you look at the average man and think that his situation is better or is somehow anything that you want, then you're destined to fail. You really are. Because the average man, he lives a life. He lives a life that he is deprived of what he wants. He is deprived. He goes to work a job that he probably doesn't even like. He comes back with a meager salary, pays a good chunk of it to the tax man, and has the rest to just, enjoy his pathetic life with video games and with pointless exercises. He's in a Friday night, he's in the pub, drinking his sorrows, drowning his sorrows. The pub is full of average working class or lower middle class men who just ain't got nothing going for them. They ain't got nothing going for them because when you're an average dude and you remain average, your life really doesn't get any better. That's the thing, like your life isn't going to get any better if you remain in average or in the average range unless you go overseas, man. See, that's the cheat code. That's really the cheat code going overseas. Because if you go overseas, you can be average by Western standards. Because average by Western standards is still well above average outside of the Western world, man. That's what you gotta understand. Average by Western standards is still well above average outside of the Western world. So you want to be average? Go to Bolivia, go to Ecuador, go to Cambodia. These are countries when you can be average. But in the Western world, in the US, in America, sorry, in Canada, in Britain, you can't be no average guy. Because the average guy is essentially just scraping by. He's scraping by. He's surviving. He's not thriving. And his situation is pitiful. I don't know how people get by on being below average. I don't know how people, but that's the thing. You're coping. See, that's the thing with me. I don't cope with my situation. See, I used to be a big gamer, right? I used to be a big gamer. And to be honest with you, gaming is a cope. And I know that because I used to be a big gamer. You zone out of the real world. But ultimately, you are left empty. You are left unfulfilled. And let's be honest, gaming is not even enjoyable. But it's a cope. It takes your mind away from the real world. Just like alcohol, just like drugs. It takes your mind away from the real world. See, when you stop coping with video games, with drugs, with alcohol, with all this entertainment, fantasy movies, anime is another big cope for loser, man. It does hurt, man. It really does. It does hurt. There's no doubt about it. It does actually hurt because you have to face your reality more. And I think that's where a lot of you guys, you don't want to do that. You don't really want to face your reality. You just want to pretend. It's easier to pretend. See, I've been in that. See, I always believed that I was going to be successful, but I didn't face my reality of actually going through the process of becoming successful. That I didn't do that until I quit video games. So the average man is coping with his situation. That's exactly what he's doing. The average man has to cope with his situation because his actual situation is pitiful. And that's the position that he's in. Don't think that from being below average and becoming average is going to solve your problems. No, it's not. It's not. I've made it clear to you guys that if you want to retire, man, you're going to need millions to retire. We're going to get into that later on in the next topic here. But that's the thing. I mean, a lot of people want to make things easier than what they are, which of course I'm against it. I'm against making things easier than what they are. Things are not easy. Life is not easy. Some guys want to believe life is easy. Life is not easy. I've never found life easy. Now, it might be easy for some people, but I don't think if your life is easy, you'd be here. Why would you be here? If your life is easy, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here on this channel. Maybe you would. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe your life is easy. But I'm going to assume that your life isn't easy and that's why you're here. Life has never been easy for me, right? But I'm okay with that though. I'm okay with the fact that life isn't easy for me. I'm okay with that reality. I accept that reality. I really do. I accept that reality. It's not easy. I struggle. Yes, I do struggle. I do struggle on a day to day. But guess what? That's not a lifetime thing. That's temporary. And that's the thing. I'm going to make that temporary. It's my choice for that to be temporary. See, the average man, he wants to get involved in believing in politics, believing that the political system is going to save him. He wants to get involved in areas that he has no control over as a cope to deal with his pitiful situation. And unfortunately, that's true. I mean, his situation is pitiful. His situation is pathetic. His situation is shameful. Like I said, I've lived as an average man and I've hated every second of it. And I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you that right now that if you think that being an average man making $50,000 or pounds a year, you're going to be satisfied, then, you're living in Disneyland. Take it from a man who's been below average, who's got up to the average range. I mean, I'm not making over 500 grand a year, so I still consider myself to be in that average range. And I'm living deprived, man. Like, I'm living deprived in this country. You think I'm just, of course I'm living deprived in this country. Of course I'm living deprived in this country, man. I'm absolutely living deprived in this country. I'm in a situation whereby I don't even have what I want. I've worked for how many years, and what do I have to show for it, man? I got money in the bank, don't get me wrong, I'm not financially insecure. I got money in the bank, but you can blow that quick in the Western world, man. Like, you can blow money so quickly. Like, the kind of lifestyle I want to live, man, I'm far behind where I should be. But that's the thing. I mean, money is a hell of a lot more important than people give it credit for. Like, you can't improve your situation without money. You need money to improve your situation. Without money, you're pretty much toast in this world. Without money, you're toast. You're lazy. You feel defeated, man. And I already spoke about why most people won't make it in the Western world. And that's why I'm such a big advocate of expatriation, because you can do more with less money. I mean, a lot of you guys, like, you're heading for a lifetime of misery, a lifetime of humiliation, a lifetime of subjugation. And I don't want that for my subscribers. See, I don't know which one of you guys are genuine or not. I think a good portion of you guys aren't genuine. I think a good portion of you guys are complete fools, complete morons. I mean, you unsubscribe from my channel because I put it on you guys. But I put it on you guys because I see that you're not making any progress, and you're not making progress because you're not following what you need to be following. You keep watching loser content and you're not working enough hours, man. Anybody can get out of being below average just by hard work alone, just by hard work and hustling and grinding. Just by that alone, you can get out of being below average. But is that going to make you rich? Well, I mean, no, it's not. That's not enough to make you rich. It's not enough to get you into that rich man's range. But at the same time, you're going to get out of being below average. But when we talk about making money, right? And some people think that, well, you can just be frugal, right? You can just be frugal and that's enough. That's enough to get you out. Just be a frugal dude, man. Just be a, what you might call it? Be a frugal dude. Save your money, and that's enough. No, that doesn't work. Most people are in the position that they're in because they didn't make enough money throughout their lives. That's the real reason why they're in the position that they're in. They're in the position that they're in because they simply didn't make enough money throughout their lives. They simply didn't make enough money throughout their lives, man. If you don't make enough money throughout your life, you will die poor. You will die deprived. That's a fact. That's a simple fact. People want to try and cheat and say, oh, I'm going to live frugal. I'm going to live frugal. I'm going to live minimalist. That doesn't work, man. That doesn't work nowadays. That might have worked before. That doesn't work anymore. Living frugal, living minimalist, because that's not the reason why people are poor. Anyway, people are not poor because they didn't spend enough money throughout their lives. People are poor because they didn't make enough money. Sorry, I said that wrong. People are not poor because they spent too much money throughout their lives. People are poor because they didn't make enough money throughout their lives. See, and that's the thing. If you haven't basically increased your income, right? If you haven't increased your income throughout the last year, due to inflation, you've taken a pay cut. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. That's the truth. That's the reality of the situation. So don't think that I'm just frugal. I'm gonna save my money and that's somehow gonna change your reality. No, that's not. You're living delusional, bro. I'm sorry to tell you that. But you are indeed living delusional. And I have to tell you that, and I have to be honest with you, because too many people are living delusional. Too many people do think that they're gonna come out of their situation. Oh, I'm gonna save my money. Doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. All these movements, the FIRE movement and these other movements, they're just a joke. I mean, I don't want to talk about the FIRE movement, but to be honest with you, it's a joke, man. I mean, because the truth of the matter is you need millions to retire. So these guys are going to find out that their whole plan is going to blow up in smoke because it's not going to work. People are trying to cheat the system. And I've spoken about this many times that people think that they can cheat, but really, I mean, you can't cheat anymore. This system is watertight at this moment. The only thing you can do is go overseas, man, to be honest with you. Like, that's the only thing you can really do if you want to be, like, retire comfortably, retire well on an average salary. The only thing you can really do is realistically is go overseas. There's nothing really else you can do. A lot of people think that they can do something else, but they're fooling themselves. That's really and truly what they're doing. They're fooling themselves because they are fools. You know, they are fools anyway to begin with. I mean, I don't want to talk about people in these movements because most of you guys, you probably ain't in these movements. But the thing is that I talk about shame. I talk about fear. And I'm one of the few guys who really talks about that. Like most people, they say you shouldn't be ashamed, right? Well, let me tell you, I live in shame. I wake up in shame. I go to sleep in shame. I live in shame. I am ashamed of myself and I'm ashamed of my situation. Absolutely. Is that a bad thing? No, it's a good thing. Why? Because I should be ashamed. Why shouldn't I be ashamed? Why shouldn't I be ashamed? Well, I'm supposed to be comfortable with my position? No, I should be ashamed because I got nothing that I want out of life, right? Now, I'm working towards that, but I'm not where I want to be. And if I'm not where I want to be, then I'm smart enough to understand that I have to come up with a strategy that's going to improve my situation. And one way I do that is by being ashamed. Okay? Because the shame that you feel, and it's not a good feeling, it pushes you to change. It pushes you to get to the promised land, to get to the position that you really want to be in, to get to the position that you believe you deserve to be in. See, I always believed that I would end up living a lavish and luxurious life. I've always wanted it, I've always believed in it. So it's never been something that has been in my mind as like, that's just a dream. That's just a distant dream. That's never gonna happen. That has never ever been in my mind. It's always been in my mind that I would have that. And not only that I would have that, but I deserve that. But some of you are different. Some of you are indeed different. It's like when Dan Pena said that you commit acts of self-sabotage because you don't believe that you deserve it. And that was a fantastic line by Mr. Pena. You commit acts of self-sabotage because you don't believe that you deserve it. Why don't you believe that you deserve it? You want to know why? Because you hate yourself. You have issues with self-hate. You don't believe you deserve the success that other men have because you believe that you are inferior to other men. See, I always say that, I don't believe other men are better than me. I believe other men made better decisions than me. But some of you guys actually believe other men are better than you. You actually believe that because you hate yourself. You really, truly, actually hate yourself, man. That's real. Like, that's real. You really, truly hate yourself. You really, truly think that you are inferior. And that's why your position is justified. It's not unjust that you're in a loser position that you find yourself in. It is justified. It is absolutely 100, 1,000,000, 1,000% justified. You really believe that your position is justified. Whether you accept it or not. It's funny because some people they complain about their position, but when you look at them, they never had any ambition. They never had any, and that's the difference between me and them. I always had ambition though. That's the thing. I was always an ambitious guy. It was just that I had an issue with focus. My issues were with focus and being basically unaware of my reality. I was naive, focus, naivety. But my issue was never ambition. I think if you lack ambition, if you never had any ambition, man, you're finished. And you shouldn't be in the Western world because the Western world will chew you up and spit you out, man. You're going to be humiliated here. But the thing is that I'm saying this to say that, and you guys see the title, that some of you guys are destined to just become broke bitter, lonely, miserable, loser, old men. Let me say that again. Broke, bitter, lonely, miserable, loser, old men. Some of you guys are just destined to end up like that. And as sad as that may be, and as embarrassing as that may be, that's your reality, right? That's your reality. You're gonna end up an old pervert, a perverted guy. Like, on that TV show Family Guy, right? Like, I used to watch that as a teenager. It's a cartoon, but they got this one character, Quagmire, some 50-something-year-old perverted guy, you know, single, lonely old man. Giggity, 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 you know? Then you got this other guy, right? You got this guy on my channel taking pictures. Why are you taking pictures of my legs? I studied them. Some old pervert, right? That's a situation that some of you guys, unfortunately, are heading for. And I don't want that for any of my supporters, my true supporters. I don't care about other people, the trolls. And I know a lot of the trolls will all end up in that position because they're losers. But my thing is that I see guys, and I've had, like the guy who closed my channel, got my channel closed down. He was an incredibly lonely, bitter, miserable, jealous, broke old man. He was middle-aged. He wasn't even broke. You saw it in his face. The guy had an old, tired, Frankenstein-looking face. You could see his face. He was bitter. He had some deep lines on his face, right? The guy had some deep lines. I don't know if it's a condition or what, or if that's just wear and tear, but the guy had some deep lines on his face, some deep folds on his face. But even aside from that, he had an angry expression on his face. He couldn't crack a joke. There's guys out there who can't even crack a joke. That's how bitter they are. And their life is going to just get worse and worse because if you like that in your 40s, what's going to happen in your 50s and 60s? And let me tell you, nobody has any sympathy for a bitter, old loser man. Nobody has any sympathy for you. Nobody has any sympathy for you, man. You're the last to be catered to. You're essentially viewed as worthless, and that's why you gotta have money, because your money's gonna take care of you. See, we're looking at a generation, and this is gonna be the first generation, and I've mentioned this before, but this is gonna be the first generation where there will be a large amount, a substantial amount of men and women, but this is a men's channel, so we care about men. There will be a substantial amount of men who will have no progeny, okay? They will have no progeny, okay? They will have no real family to help them in their old age. They're going to be left alone. When you get to be older, your parents are dead and gone, dead and buried, you know. You are in a situation where you got to fend for yourself. You're unemployable because of your age or because, you're just outside of your prime in general. You're unemployable, you're broke, you've got no progeny to help you, your parents are dead, you're finished, you know? See, and that's why I advocate getting rich because if you're rich, no matter what your personality is, no matter if you got friends or no friends, no matter if you got kids or no kids, no matter if you got a wife or no wife, it doesn't matter because your money will take care of you. When you ain't got money, you're helpless, man. And that's why I don't want to become a helpless old man. be like some bitter old man. You're viewed as the Grinch. You know that story, The Grinch That Stole Christmas? That's what you're viewed as when you become a bitter, and you see these guys, bitter old man. It's a stereotype. It's a type of guy, a bitter old man, right? That guy who got my channel closed down, he couldn't take the fact. This dude is like, he was in his, I think he was 42 at the time, it was 3 years ago. So he's in his mid 40s right now. He had no success, right? He was some autistic guy. He was in his 40s, right? He had no financial success, no romantic success, no success socially. He was an emotional wreck. And he would lament about his lack of romantic success on YouTube. That's what he did, right? And this guy, I mean, he was jealous of the fact that he's like over 15 years older than me. And he was getting schooled by me, and he never uttered a word against me because he was a coward. And a lot of you guys who will end up loser old men is because you're cowards. You don't have the balls to take a risk. You don't have the balls to go out there and make something of yourself. You stay in your comfort zone. And that's why you're going to end up basically being in a loser position for the rest of your life because you're not brave enough to do something about your situation. You ain't got the bravery. See, with me, I'm brave enough to improve my situation. I'm not a coward like a lot of you guys out there. You ain't got the bravery to improve your situation. I don't care if you unsubscribe from my channel because I know some of you guys, you're dying to hit that unsubscribe button. You're dying to hit that unsubscribe button because you don't like the fact that when I come and I start talking about you guys, you know, when I come and I start talking about you guys, you feel that, oh, you're being attacked. So what if I'm attacking you? So what if I'm attacking you? I'm trying to help you out of your loser situation so that you don't suffer. If you can't take that message, then you can go to hell. I don't care. I'm just straight to the point like that. I'm real like that. There's a lot of guys out there, they aren't looking to help you. They're out there to keep you in the doomerism position. Yes, they want to keep you in doomerism because they themselves are doomers and misery loves company. So you gotta understand that, man. The Unreal Man is a real dude. And the Unreal Man believes in doing your utmost to improve your situation. So if you're with that, then you're with this channel. If you're against that, then you can piss off and go and watch your loser doomer channels and enjoy being humiliated, subjugated, and dominated for the rest of your life. It's Unreal Man here, the truth and manners. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you aren't already, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you're informed every time I upload a new video.